A date which will live in infamy. The Japanese attack at Pearl Harbor on December 7th, 1941. Many people in the United States had hoped to stay out of the war in Europe. Even though the United States had only been involved in World War I for a short period of time, they remembered the evils of that conflict and did not want to be a part of anything like that again. Unfortunately, the Japanese would not allow the United States to remain neutral for very long. As the Japanese looked to expand their interests through the Pacific Ocean, searching for natural resources to fuel their military buildup, it was inevitable that they would run into land that the United States possessed or was interested in having some control over. As the Japanese had taken over Manchuria and other places in the Pacific, the United States grew concerned that they were spreading too far too fast. In an attempt to prevent further Japanese expansion, the United States refused to export gasoline, scrap metal, or oil to Japan, launching an embargo against the island nation. The Japanese were angry with this development and sent representatives to discuss the matter with President Roosevelt late in 1941. As the representative met with President Roosevelt, the Japanese were planning a surprise attack against the United States in an effort to eliminate the United States as a threat to their expansion plans. On December 7th, 1941, at a little before 8 a.m. on a Sunday morning, planes of the Japanese Navy bombed and torpedoed American ships at Pearl Harbor and Army Air Corps planes at various bases around the island of Oahu. The United States had suspected an attack was coming, but always believed that attack would happen at bases much closer to Japan, maybe the Philippines or Wake Island, which were attacked later on that day. President Roosevelt addressed Congress the next day, asking them for a declaration of war against Japan. He opened the speech saying that December 7th, 1941 would be a date which will live in infamy. He then went through everything that Japan had done to believe that they wanted peace with the United States, all the while planning the attack. He listed all of the other possessions or territory of the United States that were attacked after Pearl Harbor. As he asked Congress for a declaration of war, because according to the Constitution only Congress can declare war, stating that, in fact, the United States and Japan were already at war, Congress agreed and, with one vote against it, declared war on Japan